right. So the biggest misconception that I got when I was trading futures was to treat it basically like options. Usually the strategy that I use in options is basically my DMA with levels, hourly levels. Um, I tend to go more with the hourly levels, but the problem is that in options we basically have theta decay, and we don't have that in MES. You can actually hold a little longer uh, trading futures than trading options, basically. I know one of the examples that I had, I tends to actually uh, buy and sell options, and I think the longest that I actually hold one position is probably like 1 hour. I think my average time of holding in MES for the past previous week, I think was like 3 hours. Um, I do like it trading overnight because it's a little more slow, and I like less volatility, and basically holding longer is the way to go when you're trading overnight. It tends to take a little longer to break levels. You can actually see on the 15 minutes um, that we most of the consolidation that we usually have it on after hours. You can see it here. This is a point at night. You can see how small the candles were. So the idea with this section of it was basically to hold. I think I trade a bullish move on this section over here, and it basically took like 4 hours to get to the points that I was actually making pretty good profits to actually scale out and even exit the trade. Um, so my DD map in the 15 minutes actually pretty good for options, but since we take a little longer to move on futures, it kind of like give you a little choppiness in the middle. You can see here, even though it was actually bullish, it was extremely close, and we were having really small buying pressure. So that was the first mistake that I made, trying the same strategy that I have for options with futures. I think again, you need to have a little more patience. But the safest thing about it is that we are basically, we don't have expiration and we don't have theta decay. You just basically need to find the right direction that the future is gonna go, and I just stick to that on the hourly. For me, the best strategy that I found was basically the Darvas Box, which is literally a support and resistant or major support resistant with continuation to either side. Um, Another thing that I actually learned for the past 3 weeks is that you basically need to have a, uh, a target. I've been alerting the move, and my first scale out is at 2 points. Contracts in futures they cost $50, and half a point is gonna give you around 5%. So once you do 2 points, you're basically securing a 20% move on the contract. So if you buy one contract and it basically go the way that you want it to go, and reach the 2 points, you'll be up $10 on that contract, which will be 20%. Um, Fees, I think fees is like 60 cents per way, so you're gonna be spending like 120 for the round trip. Um, so you had to add that to the profits that you're making, or discount that to the profits that you're making. So I think the clean money that you get out is probably like 880 or something like that when you have a 2% or a 2 point move. All right, so my main target, going back to the target, is basically the 2 points. I usually scale out 2 points. You can see here when we trade this, it basically took forever to break the box. Ended up actually breaking at 45.72 and went all the way to 75, 74, 75. I scale out around there. If you can see here, most of the resistance from that breakout was around 45.77, which is basically around 5 points. But I took profits around 2%. Sorry, around 2 points. I ended up actually selling more around 4 points, which is be like 40% move from the original value of the contract. I think that's the most important thing right now, just to basically have a target. The good thing about the broker that I'm using is that you can actually find the level. So what I do is basically I go to the Darvas box, and I actually find the main support and resistance, and I tend to put a target of buying a buying order at that level. In this case, it's going to be 46.1250, so I go to 46.1250, which is this one over here, and I put a buy order there. All right. One thing that I learned is that since this is basically a resistance, you can literally put the buy order there, and the target is gonna get there and maybe reject it. So you ended up actually having a position without even breaking it up. So the best way to do it is basically, if you see that the target is 45.1250, which is in this case over here, just go either 20.25 up or 0.50 up, just to make sure that there's a breakout from that level. So in that case, I'm gonna go to 45 1275 and put a buy there, just in case that we actually go to this level over here and get a rejection and drop down. I don't get fail. I think that was one of the main mistakes that I made at the beginning, and I actually learned from that. And now what I'm doing is actually putting the buy level a little higher, like 25 or 50. You can go with 25, but it's a little risky, so I prefer just to go to 50. If you see, we covered those 0.50 pretty fast. So the idea is, again, hoping a little far out. In that way, we don't get fail in something and get a rejection right there. You might get a rejection, it happens, but just make sure that you know where your support resistance is basically. So in this case over here, we basically have the box 46.12 50. You can see the levels here, and the support basically 46 or 45 99.75. So if you get fail here and you get a small rejection, you know that under this level over here, we're basically gonna drop way harder. But I know, since we're talking about this level over here, those 46 1250 all the way to 46 is 12 points. If I let those 12 points actually drop, that's gonna be too much of a sell, and I'll be too deep in the red. So I think the best scenario is probably to go with a different level from before that is basically in the middle. In this case over here, it's gonna be those 46.0675, 46.0650. So that will be probably the main support to follow. You can also see that there's a lot of candles passing by around there, so I'm gonna be using that as my stop loss if I get fail to a move for a move to the upside. I know that if I get fail for a move to the upside, the next target is gonna be those 46.17, since it's basically the top of the box on the previous cycle. So what you do right now is basically put your buy order at 46.1275, then you follow again and you put basically a sell order. So hold on, let's go with 10 contracts. Gonna put a buy order of 46.1275 because that's gonna be a long move, that's gonna be a bullish move. So I'm gonna put my sell order now of 5 contracts at 2 points that I'm actually aiming for, which is basically 46.1475. And the final target is gonna be, I'm gonna put it at the end or at the top of the neckline of the trend, which is basically a 46.17. And I'll be covering 2 points here, and I'll be covering 3 more points here, which is basically 5 points in total. Remember, every single point is 10%. So if you cover 5 points, you're talking about 50% move. So that's actually a really, really good trade. So we have this section over here that we're buying basically 10, we're selling 5, and then 5 after. Now, I'm gonna put my stop loss, as we mentioned before, at those 46.0575. But since we're gonna actually be going with 25 cents more, just in case, I'm gonna go with 46.05, which is basically the next target. You can actually go a little lower if you want. So in case I get fail, I'm gonna put my stop loss basically here. If I see that we are breaking levels from there, breaking down from that level, I'm gonna actually end up going with a sell position or a short position with my target basically a 46.00, which is the bottom of the box. Remember, we're using this level over here as a short target or as a short trigger, and our target is gonna be the bottom of the box. If you look at the level, it's basically 46.0675, and our target is 46. So we're talking about 6.75 percent. Sorry, 6.75 points move. So I'll be around 60% move to the downside. Again, you can use literally the same level for a move up, which will be a stop loss around 46.1275 if you go into a short position. Um, that's one of the things that I like about this broker, that you can literally trade with the chart. You don't basically have to be waiting for something. If you want to actually, remove the targets and just wait for a clean breakout, you can actually go with the buy and sell. I've been testing the join bid and join ask, but I don't see much different as the buy market or sell market. I prefer just to go now with levels and just put the alerts in there. Do not, if you're using this broker, do not go with, how do you say, like, don't go with too many buy orders and sell orders, because then if you don't pay attention to it, you can actually be aiming for a bullish move and get fed in a short move and reverse back up and lose money there. So I think just focus on one movement at the same time. One of the ways to identify the movement is basically with MACD DIMA. Again, it's actually a pretty good complement right now, but alone is not good enough for futures. If you see right now, we basically testing the top of the box. That trigger might happen soon. If that happens, my target again is gonna be those 46.1475 with the final target 46.1675. So far, 15 minutes is actually bullish. We're getting a little more buying pressure. So the positive is actually breaking the box. It's actually a little higher. Now going with the hourly, you can see here that the box is actually extremely big. When you get something like this, the best thing is just go with the 15 minutes and secure your 2 points. Do not wait for such a big box, because usually when whatever happens on after hours on pre-market, we usually get kind of like a small consolidation, like you see here, and the movement is actually a little better. On big boxes like this, that the separation is basically at 20-30 points, it's not worth it to trade the hourly. It's better just to wait for the 15 minutes trigger and just wait for that. Hourly for a long-term move is, I think, is the best indicator. I think we trade this level back on Thursday. You can see here, there's 46.1175. It basically ended up breaking down from that level and went down all the way to 45.52, making about 40-50 points. That was a pretty good trade, and you can see that we got the perfect alert on the box. We basically broke the support at those 46.11. MACD DIMA ended up actually going red, and we dropped down all the way down. Again, the box is really good for this because we don't have a expiration or theta decay, so we can actually hold a little longer. Hold on. So we can actually hold a little longer. Again, wait for a little more consolidation in the way the box actually gets smaller, and after we have a breakout, just use the previous support as your stop loss. Do not wait for the other support, because it's gonna be too long. Again, you need to actually see what's your target, because if we go again with the bottom of this one, of the current box, which is basically 4600, it's gonna be 12 points difference, and it's gonna be too much to cover. You're gonna be too deep in the red, and it can actually break to the downside and go the other way. Another way to trade this is using the support level as a trigger. Also, you can see here that whenever it recovers to the upside, you can actually enter and put the bottom of the previous candle as your stop loss. This one is a little more risky because there's a possibility of getting a rejection at the bottom of the box and reverse it back down. So that's why if you enter here, I think like this space over here, I think the main trigger will be recovering the box, which is basically 46, 78, 75, and
Stop
putting your
filled.
stop loss
Stop
at the bottom of
filled.
the previous candle. You see, now I got failed. Okay, basically got failed. Now let's see we actually get continuation to the upside. So far the box is saying that we're gonna get continuation to the upside. Position right now is $25 up. If you can take profits that are around here, be my guest. It's basically you're basically in the green. So You guys know my motto: see green, take green. So if you want to take it, be my guest. But my target again is gonna be those 46.1475. Right now, we're getting there. So right now, if you see, I'm up 50 bucks, so I'm not gonna be greedy on days like today, because since we are in the after hours, it's usually a little
Order filled.
more risky than a regular market. But you see, we're basically hitting, or we're about to hit the first target, which is those 46, this one over here, those 46.1475. I already sold half of the position, made $37, or $25 actually. And now I'm gonna wait for the next one. If you wanna be a little more careful, you can put your stop loss at 46.1125, which is the bottom of the current candle, or this level over here. But again, if this is probably a long trade, since it's after hours, it's gonna move a little slower. So just wait, to see if we actually get continuation to the upside. 15 minutes again is actually bullish. It's separated, so the possibilities of move up is actually higher. We also broke the box, gave us a good buy signal, so we might see a little more continuation. 1 hour, you can actually see in the 1 hour, it's curling up and it's reducing on the selling pressure. So 1 hour is also showing a little move up. But yeah, since the box is so big on the 1 hour, I think the best way to go is basically on the 15 minutes. Target is gonna be those 46.1475. You can see here, you fill order, which is basically 46.1275. And you can see here where the position is at, which is basically 46.1350. Again, you can have different targets. You can have smaller targets. You can actually aim for 1 point move. Remember, 1 point move, you're talking about 10%. 10% in profitability is actually pretty good. But I usually put 2% because I usually can cover those 2 points actually pretty fast. After hours move slower compared to previous to regular hours. Regular hours is a little more volatile, so I think at regular hours you can actually go with the hourly chart. It's actually a little less extreme, and it might actually be a little more accurate regarding a move. But after hours, since it's actually we have less volume, we tend to go actually really small. I mean, really slow. Right now we are at 46.1425. We were really close to hitting our target. We ended up actually hitting 46.1450. The box is actually pointing there. We got the buying trigger right now. You can see it here. We separated in the 15 minutes. But again, since it's actually after hours, it's gonna take a little more time to reach our target. Usually in regular hours, you can see the big candles basically going there. You see, 8:45, 9:30. Look at the big candles that we get. All right, we're approaching our target. You see. One more thing, if you see that we actually getting a lot of rejection on a specific target, I usually ended up actually taking profits. All right, so we hit our target. We scaled already before, but you see where we got rejections? We got rejections at 46.1475, which in this case is this level over here. You can see 2 candles passing by there. So yeah, if I had my sell order as those 46.1475, I'll be taking profits out. But I took profits out before. Remember, we're in a long position, which is basically a buy. If you want to exit the full position, you can go to exit a market, and it's gonna sell basically at the level that you're at. You can also sell a market position or reduce your 5, or you can actually go, if you see that it's getting a lot of rejections, you can actually go with 10. Since I'm holding only 5, it's gonna sell 5 and buy 5 short for a move down. it's getting rejections there. Right now it's testing 46.14. You can see the price going down. 15 minutes actually bullish right now. It's going up, getting a little more buying pressure. But now, since we are in the green, if you want to feel safe, you can put your exit at the same price that you actually went in, which is $46.75. This one over here. So now let's do that. Let's put a sell order of 5 at $46.75. We secure already half of the position, and right now we have a target of 46.1475 and a stop loss of 46.1275. You already are in the green since you took profits already of half of the contracts, and you're holding the rest just for a move up or a move down. So you can go, again, this is actually the slowest time, the after hours. You can get up, get some coffee, blah, 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 do something and then come back. Or if you want to, do something else, you can put your stop loss and put a long-term target and go to sleep. That's what I did the other day with 5 contracts. I actually ended up waking up to a $500 gain. I went to sleep and came back and it was already in the green for $500. So let's take a look at the 1 hour levels. Yeah, we're extremely far out. Not so far. Talking about 3 points different. The main thing about the 1 hour is that you can see that we are red in MACD DIMA, so the possibility of actually dropping down or getting a rejection at the top of the box is actually pretty high. So 4 hours also a pretty good indicator, but this one is extremely long. I know LCK, which is one of the trades that we have, used the 4 hours, and she ended up actually holding, I think, from all the way down here, and ended up selling around here. So you can use the 4 hours too. But I think I tried 3 different strategies. I tried DIMA, which is the double EMA. It's a pretty good strategy, but not so accurate as MACD DIMA. I tried MACD DIMA. I tried WMA, which is basically whenever we actually break down from the way moving average, and ended up actually focusing more on the Darvas Box because I saw that we were getting more continuation on a breakout level on the Darvas Box than compared to everything else. And especially since you can actually draw your support or your stop loss and your taking profit levels using the chart while using Travel Bait. So that's one of the reasons that I actually ended up going with the DIMA. Darvas Box. I'm recording this session in a way I can actually, drop it in YouTube, and you guys can actually, review it later. But it's pretty simple. If you don't have this indicator, just add it. It's called Darvas Box Buy Sell 4. It's good to know your support and resistance levels, because sometimes, again, we get such a big box that it's actually pretty hard to find your support. But sometimes it also is given to you on the 15 minutes. Remember, whenever you see more candles passing by or getting rejected or bouncing from, that seems to be a pretty good support. If you see over here, 4606 has 4 candles there, so that seems to be a really good support or resistance. Also getting a lot of rejections at 4614, and you can see here that we basically have 2 candles passing by there, so that's gonna be a little hard to break. So let's see. But so far, 15 minutes separating, it's actually moving up and getting buying pressure. So expecting, again, the expectation is to move up and maybe test the top of those 46.1675. All right, we broke, approaching our target. Our original target that we took profits from already. But again, if you see over here right now, we have our stop loss of 46.1275 and we have our profit taken of 46.1675. I can literally get up, do whatever I have to do, and when I come back, either we're still inside that range or I got stop out. And since I already have money in, I don't have to worry about anything else. So I just can move on with my life basically. Regarding the amount of contracts that I buy, it's up to the to your portfolio. I usually go with 10. Um, Whenever I feel like average down, I usually add in tens because I found it easier regarding percentage calculation, because this thing doesn't tell you what's the percentage on gains that you have. And since we also used to do options that we usually go with percentage, it's really hard to do the calculation. I know with 10, um, I know I'm basically multiplying by 10, so it's fine. But it's also easier to scale out whenever you have 10, because you tend to sell 5 and keep 5. And if we keep going up, I tend to sell 3 and keep 2. So it's basically something like that. Let's see if we get stop out. Nope, doesn't want to drop. Again, MACD Dima is bullish right now. It's getting a lot of buying pressure. So expectation is actually for a move up. We also trigger on the box again, which is the main indicator. You can see it here. And our next target is basically the next top of the box on the previous cycle, which is 46.1650. One of the other things that I tend to go with Nasdaq. This is something that I learned from one of the guys here, because sometimes they kind of like go with different cycles. Like you can see sometimes Nasdaq dropping and MES kind of like lagging behind, and you can actually see MES going and Nasdaq kind of like lagging behind. So if I see that Nasdaq is dropping and MES is lagging, I know probably MES is gonna follow soon. So I tend to actually have this one open. Same thing with SPY, but most of the time SPY actually go with MES. So I do like it a lot, again, because it's something that you can do without risking much. If you know your targets, where you want to take your money and move on. And I can hold longer. I can basically have a little more free time. I don't have to be in front of a computer for such a long time, just paying attention to levels. I can literally hold for an hour, go somewhere, and come back, and I know that since I put my stop losses already there, I know my money is gonna be secure. And again, it's been really, really accurate. We last week, the percentage of accuracy was around 87%, just using the box, literally using the box, guys. I just want to see if we can actually make it to the target, but the problem is that, again, it's after hours, so it's going to take a little longer to make it there. Do you guys have any questions? You can drop it in free trade, or you can drop it in the chat on the stream. But it's pretty simple and straightforward, basically. We hit our first target, our 2-point target. We ended up actually going at 46.1275. We hit basically 46.1475. That would be my first level, but I ended up actually taking profit before, because again, you don't have to be greedy on this one. If you do, I don't know, 5 trades in an hour, and you ended up actually making, I don't know, $50 per trade, you're talking about $250 in an hour. So you don't have to be greedy about it. I think we've been getting a lot of rejections around there. Oh, you can see also the trades that you take here. You can see where you bought. You can see where you sold. We basically sold 1 point up, so that's 10%. Now we're basically hovering around those 46.14. We ended up actually breaking those 46.14 before, and that was a pretty strong resistance. So if you want to do, you can actually exit it there and just take your profit, since we actually been getting a lot of rejections around there. So that's what I'm gonna do. But I want to show you guys. I'm gonna sell here. I take profits here.
Order filled.
I took profits, right? But if you don't remove your orders from before, you can actually get it filled after. So if we actually go up and hit those 16.75, I can get filled in a short position there. That's why it's always good to clear the orders after you actually exit your trade. You see over here, we basically ended up trading like 10 minutes ago, and we ended up doing $44 in literally 10 minutes. So that was a really, really good trade, and it's 10 contracts. Again, if you ended up putting your stop loss and your profit target levels, you won't be having any major issue with this. If you don't put that and forget about it, you're gonna end up being upside down $500, $600, $1,000 because you ended up um, dropping or going the opposite way. Remember, we don't have expiration here. We don't have theta decay. So if you hold and you start holding long, you might actually end up upside down pretty hard if you don't pay attention to it. So you have to be extremely careful. But so far, I found it safer and easier compared to options. I think I mentioned a couple times in this trend that options prices tend to drop after 10:30 a.m. Even though the stock is not moving, that doesn't happen here. That's basically doesn't happen here. You basically follow the trigger, ended up actually going in, so take your profits and basically move on. Again, the main strategy, I try 3 different strategies. I was like, I think that on the MACD team, I was at like 60%, 65% success. On DEMA, same thing with the WMA, was like similar 65, 70. This one is a whole new level. So we're talking about 87, 90% accuracy using literally this. Waiting for a break at the box, aiming for a 2-point move, taking profits of those 2-point move, just waiting for the next 2 points. If that doesn't work, and start reversing at those 2 points, exit the position, and you ended up actually exiting green. It's really, 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 really simple and straightforward. So add the indicator. This indicator in options is not good because this one is for long movements. Remember, in options we had theta decay, so the position is gonna stop. It's gonna start dropping value when we get close to the expiration. But on this we don't, because that doesn't happen. So you can actually wait for a breakout, get confirmation from any of the indicators, um, and take profits up and put basically a target. The lower, remember what I mentioned before, for those of you that's been on the stream before, if you trading a bullish move, the best ones are when we are in the negative section. All right. If you're trading a shorting move, the best one is when we are in the positive section. You can see here that we basically start dropping this section over here. MACD DEMA start separating, like, for the red side, and we basically broke that box at 46.0675. If you look at this candle over here, where this candle basically got rejected at the 46.0675, so that means that that's a pretty strong support resistance. So I ended up actually getting continuation to the side because we were trading from the positive section towards the negative. So the bearish move was actually stronger. So here it went from the 46.0675 all the way to 45.87, 45.88 with that's a 14-point move. I think we trade that one, right? Let's see. Yeah, I think I did trade that one. Yeah, 46.06 was this one over here. Ended up actually going all the way to all the way over here. I took profits at 45.9975. I think it was this level over here. Well, this level over here. This one over here. You can see the 2 candles passing by there. Main target was probably this one, but I ended up actually going with this level over here because we have basically 2 candles passing by there, so that's got pretty strong support. I ended up actually taking profits there, but ended up actually dropping more and went all the way to 45.8950 because MACD DEMA was red and we were out of the box. So there you go. So wait for confirmation from the box. Make sure the MACD DEMA is pointing the way that the box is actually going, and just hoping. Put your stop loss. Remember, since we don't have theta decay, you can put your stop loss at the same level that you enter. You can literally put that there, and nothing's gonna happen. You get basically gonna get out breaking even. That's the beauty of it. That's literally the beauty of it, because the position is not gonna lose value. So you're hoping at 46.1225, you put your stop loss there. If it goes up, perfect, you take profits on your target. If it goes down, you're basically gonna go down and exit at the same position as you basically enter, and you're gonna end up actually basically breaking even. So you might lose, of course, you might lose the fees from the transaction, but I think it's again 60 cents per weight trip. And if you follow the correct way, you're probably gonna be ended up actually profiting from it. You can see it here. Basically, we broke those 46, 12, 25, ended up actually going to our target, which is 46, 14, 75, which is these levels over here, and then it's actually approaching the final target, which is basically 46, 16, 50. But since we have a target and we don't want to risk it, we ended up actually exiting earlier and take profits. We basically did 40 bucks in 15 minutes, which is again, if you think about it, just clicking something, who does that basically? So that's it. It's simple as that. Again, I took my time to study this thing, and I hope you guys actually can use it. If you're in the US, this is the one that I've been using. I think it's. I've been actually looking into TDA also. I think TDA has a way more expensive fees. But this one is actually the cheapest one that I found. It was referred by someone that has been trading futures a long time, and for now it's actually pretty cheap. I think you can actually, if you're in Canada, I know if you go to futures forex trading channel, I know the guys from Canada actually there ended up setting everything, and they ended up actually explaining everything. But if you have a question, you can ask someone there, because literally everyone that's trading right now with me futures are from Canada. And but yeah, pretty simple and straightforward, guys. Well, yeah, we're literally hitting the target basically. There you go. So I hope you guys learn from this one. I do like it a lot. I'm probably gonna start doing my transition just to futures soon, because we don't have to rush. We don't have to basically spend so much time trading, and we can literally take a profits basically from the breakout, aim for our target, and literally make that there. I got a trigger. Let's see what trigger I get. It says buy. Let's see. I think we got a close up on Dima. Yeah, there. Yeah. Once that you actually get a little more used to the way that you are, with the box, you can incorporate a little more targets or triggers just to get confirmation. But so far, right now, again, this is probably the easiest and simplest way. I just really demonstrated to you guys to basically trade. Anyone have any question? Just drop it here. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, I guess no one has. Minimum to trade, I think you can actually open an account with like 100 bucks. 100 bucks. Remember, every single contract is 50 bucks. I think you can actually open an account with 50 bucks and trade one contract. But again, the fees are gonna kill you. So I think 100 bucks might actually be good. But they do offer demo accounts that you can use to test it. There's no difference between the demo account and the regular account. They literally tell you. I think they literally tell you the fees and everything. Let's see, what is it? Report today. You can see here, 12.20 in fees. Gross PL 56.25 less the 12.20 in fees is basically 46.05. So you can actually see everything there. 20 contracts. I think it's less. I think it's like 60 cents. But since we actually trade two ways, remember we actually trade 10 contracts, buying and selling. So yeah, it's around there. It's around every transaction is around $1.20. You can see here, basically $1.22. But again, it's been working great, and it's actually I hope you guys do great with this. That indicator is the Darvas Box buy and sell. If you can use the strat, do it. It's actually pretty helpful. But so far, this is the best thing. Also, make sure you actually go with a complementary indicator, just to have an idea if we actually pushing hard, towards the way that you actually are trading. But so far, it's actually that. It's pretty simple. Hope you guys learn from this and test it out. And I mean, again, they offer free trades and free positions. So if you wanna use it, be my guest, and you can actually start testing the waters basically. All right, thank you guys for coming. I'll be streaming at night for the options for tomorrow. Uh, but again, this is probably gonna be the future for me. I've been doing way, way, way better doing this than with options. Anyway, thank you guys for passing by, and I see you guys later on today. Take care.